Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out my latest video. Now, today's video is going to be talking about a highly underrated matchup taking place December 3rd in Russia. Denis Lebedev versus Murat Gassiev. This is going to be a very, very entertaining matchup. And with these two styles, I really believe this is one of the most underrated fights of 2016. I believe that this is going to be extremely action packed. We're going to have two guys who are very good punchers going up against each other. Both of them love a war. So I don't see how this fight can't live up to the build and be a very good matchup as promised, I believe. Now, when I look at this fight and I think about the styles and who is going to win this fight, let's talk about first Denis Lebedev and what he brings to the table as a fighter. Lebedev is a guy who likes to throw out his jab a lot. He throws a straight left to the head and also to the body. He's a guy who is a southpaw. And Lebedev has shown in his career incredible heart and a chin. He's a guy who enjoys the war. And he's had one of the most gruesome eye injuries I've ever seen in his fight with Jones. He ended up fighting through that. His couldn't even see out of the right side of his face. And this guy was throwing down like he didn't even care. A real old school fighter. He'll fight anybody. Very, very tough guy. And somebody who I believe whose skill set is underrated. He'll give you a bit of movement. He is patient as well. So Lebedev, he is a very, really I respect him quite a bit as a fighter. And one thing that I think is underrated in his game is Lebedev is a guy who, when he has his opponent hurt, he's like a shark that smells blood. You know, he comes out and he throws that left uppercut. He throws a variety of punches when his opponent's hurt, and he always is on the money with them. And he's not careless when his opponent's hurt. He's a precision puncher, and when he has you hurt, he's vicious and usually always finishes you off, in my opinion. And he has a power punch, like I said. So Lebedev, very, very good fighter. And then I look at the counterpart in this fight, Murat Gassiev. And when I look at Murat Gassiev as a fighter, this is a guy who has an extensive amateur background. You look at him as a fighter up in Big Bear, trained under Abel Sanchez, very good boxing coach. Mentored by Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, of course, the kingpin at the middleweight division. One of the very best fighters in the world. Outstanding. Now, when I look at Murat Gassiev as a fighter, he has a similar style in a way to Gennady Golovkin. He loves to walk down his fighters. And when I look at Gassiev, he throws that left hook to the body. He likes to throw his jab. Um, and also, he does throw a left hook to the body, not as vicious as Golovkin. Um, but in his last fight, interestingly enough, when you watch Gassiev as a fighter, this is a guy who loves throwing that left hook to the body, as I just mentioned. But it was actually his left hook to the head that knocked out Jordan Schimmel out cold in one of the most vicious knockouts of the year. So that was an incredible performance by Murat Gassiev. And defensively, when he's walking in, he has that high guard. He likes to slip underneath punches. He's got a vicious right hand. Absolutely outstanding. One of the best right hands in boxing, in my opinion. Physically a strong fighter. And actually, Darnell Boone, who was up there training with those guys up in Big Bear, he told me that Murat Gassiev, when he hits the bag, the whole gym shakes. So this guy just is a phenom, vicious power puncher. I cannot wait for this fight. Very aggressive, but yet calculated. Um, so who do I have in this fight, guys? In my opinion, I believe that you look at it in two ways. You could go with a guy like Lebedev, who is experienced, battle-tested veteran, the guy who's shown he can go through adversity. It doesn't phase him. He's been in there with the better competition, the upper echelon guys of the cruiserweight division. Or you can go with the younger guy, less tear on his body. He's a bigger puncher, in my opinion, in this fight. He might defensively be a little bit better than Lebedev as well. It's hard to say, I mean, considering the competition Gassiev's faced. My opinion, though, he is the stronger of the two, Gassiev is. And I also just think that he holds a few disadvantages in this fight, that he doesn't have to use as much movement as Lebedev does to continue his fight. And I also think with Lebedev's style, where he is willing to back up and throw that jab, and he will be on the ropes and you can back him up, that is a terrible style with Murat Gassiev, because the only time you can really hit him is when he's walking you in to back you up and get you in the corner trapped on the ropes. But when you're already backed up, he doesn't have to walk you in. So at that point, you're making an easier target for yourself from Murat Gassiev to hit you in the body or the head. So my opinion, I'm going to take Murat Gassiev to win this fight. I believe he's going to do so by a TKO. Let's say the 8th round, I believe. I just think Gassiev will hurt Lebedev, and Lebedev's been won too many wars, and the young, upcoming, really impressive fighter Murat Gassiev pulls off what some would consider an upset, in my opinion, against a battle-tested, a guy who I very much respect, Denis Lebedev. Let me know what you guys think on this fight, who you guys got. And really, guys, if you take anything from this video, it's that you must tune into the cruiserweight division. Very underrated. These guys aren't getting the proper respect they deserve. Murat Gassiev, I said it before his last fight where he had the crazy knockout. Check him out. Up-and-coming fighter, one of my favorite to watch. Both of these guys love to watch them. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. And thanks once again, guys. Appreciate it.